hate the word midsize. I fucking hate it. Literally, the only reason it exists is to distance people from fatness. And I mean that in a way that it is used to distance people from fatness because fat phobia is still a very real thing, even within the body positivity movement. I mean, we all know the body positivity movement is a co-opted neoliberal version of fat liberation politics. So that's not surprising. But here I am arguing with other fat people to like deal with our internalized fat phobia. It's okay to be fat. It is just something that is. And so before you use a hashtag or a word, you know, I'm not telling you how to identify, but I'm asking that you really think about why is mid-size preferable to small fat or plus size? Is it because it gives you more desirability? And there are legitimate reasons for the use of that word because fat has been so weaponized. I just want people to think.
Maybe the term mid-size can help foster community. The fat acceptance movement likes to compare themselves to a racial minority, so think of it like mixed race people coming together to create a space separate from non-mixed race minorities.
If you are a person that does not want to let go of the term midsize, let me give you some insight, okay? My account used to be called Midsize Queens. I was a big advocate for midsize until I learned the mistake of my ways, and learned how midsize is rooted in fat phobia. Yes, it is. I know you don't want to hear it, but yes, it is. I just wanted to like kind of have a mirror for you guys to like show you what the mid-size community is like to the plus size community and why we need to stop. So I'm sure when you were in the mid-size community on TikTok, just scrolling on your FYP, you saw those videos of size 8 girls being like, the mid-size community doesn't accept us, and so we're gonna make our own thing. And we were like, no one's kicking you out. Why are you kicking yourself out? That's how plus size feels about the mid-size community. That's why we gotta just stop the mid-size thing, you know?
People can choose their communities. If mid-sized people are too big to fit society's standard of beauty and too small to be considered plus-sized, then they fit in the middle. And they can band together if they feel like it. Now let's spend the rest of the video showing how much the fat acceptance movement doesn't want to accept mid-sized people.
You're not mid-sized, you're thin. The average woman in the United States is a size like 16 to 18.
The average woman and man and everyone else in the United States is unhealthy. So implying that we should standardize sizes around a size 16 is not a good precedence to set.
So if you're smaller than that, it's your job to dismantle fat phobia, prioritizing super and infinite fat people.
For those who may not know, super and infinifat people are people above a size 30. Just imagine the people on my 600-pound life. The biggest problem plaguing people that are 600 pounds is not fat phobia, it is their imminent deaths if they stay that size.
And if you're not doing that, like, you're not as body positive as you think you are, and you're definitely not a fat activist. Plus size and straight size are fashion terms. Like, there is no mid-size anything, and like plus size people are not like plus size, they're like people who wear plus size clothes, right? And straight size people are like thin people. So like, what is mid-size? I don't understand.
There's a lot to unpack here, so I just won't. And I hope by prioritize super and infinifats you mean advocate for more accessible mental health care and lower prices for healthy food.
I like you have a cupcake.
So that TikTok came up on my For You page, and I've seen this girl on my For You page a few times, and I don't follow her because she's a pretty mid-sized person, and I choose to not follow body positive creators who are not like big. Which sounds fucked up, but like she shops at places that like I can't shop at. That a lot of people I know can't shop at, so I don't follow her because she should not be representing the body positive community, in my opinion. However, I think it's really funny that she like spotlighted those body positive creators because like they were all white and like small and able-bodied and cisgender. So I went through her following. She's not even following like 150 people. She's not even following like 10 black people. Like I want to say like 5 black women She's not following anyone bigger than her, like no one above a size 16 or 18, not following anyone who's disabled, not following anyone who's not cis. And it's just like, so are you body positive, or are you using the fact that like you're not super thin to like get clout and get followers and stuff like that? Like, she's not even following Lizzo. Lizzo's like the bare minimum, but she's following James Charles and like Addison Rae and Emma Chamberlain and Dixie D'Amelio and shit like that. So that doesn't seem very body positive to me.
Making body positive content doesn't mean every part of your life, including who you're following, has to include body positive people. And that list definitely doesn't have to include your specific list of fat influencers. And maybe she has another TikTok account where she watches other people. You don't know. And the fact that you care so much is strange.
Gentlest way possible, I would like for people who wear, say, a size 6 to a size 12 to stop describing themselves as mid-size and average. Firstly, the average size for a woman in the US is a 14-16. That is the size that I wear at all of 220 plus pounds. And this shifting of fatness lower and lower and lower to the point where we're calling a 6, which is quite small in terms of the human scale size, average, is not good for us collectively. Plus sizes don't even start until a 12 or a 14. So if you're wearing a medium on the extra small to 6X scale, you're not in the middle of that scale, you're on the very small end of it. Just something to think about if you're trying to be body positive and be an ally to fat people.
First of all, we shouldn't normalize a size 14 or 16 as the standard. It may be the median size in the USA, but that doesn't mean we should do that as the standard. Second, body size is relative to the people you are around. If you are on most college campuses, the average woman's size is probably a 6 or an 8. If you are living in the rural South, it is probably closer to a 16 or 18. Just because someone isn't the average size for all people in the United States, doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to call their size average.
Hi. I've seen a lot of comments like this on TikTok, and I knew it was only a matter of time before someone left it on my page. But just to clarify, nobody in the fat community is trying to gatekeep. And calling someone out who's thin for using the term midsize or using the term body positive isn't an attempt to exclude them or dismiss them or any issues they have with their body or discrimination they've faced, but rather call them out for their own privilege, which is something that as an advocate and ally, you need to be able to reflect on. I, as a smaller white fat, have other privileges that people who are super and femifats don't have. And it's my job as an advocate to find ways to support those who suffer more discrimination. There's a spectrum of privilege, and that's a fact. And it is problematic to see the fat community turn into midsize and just get smaller and thinner and whiter, because that continues to exclude those that need the most support and advocacy. So yeah, I get mad when people try and take up space, but it's not to gatekeep. It's to advocate.
All fat activists, listen to me clearly. Fat acceptance and body positivity are not the same thing. For some people, body positivity is a feminist movement for the changing of beauty standards. For fat activists, it's about normalizing obesity. For others, it is just about trying to feel better about their bodies. Body positivity is not owned by anyone. Not fat people, not skinny people, no one. So stop trying to tell people who is in and who is out in the body positivity movement.
A 110 to 190 pound body looks like.
When you look under this sound, there's a reason that you only see straight size and mid-size bodies. This whole idea of saying that we weigh more than how we look, it's all just about distancing yourself from fat people. As a mid-sized person, I am so sick of seeing other mid-sized creators distancing themselves from fat people and basically saying, but I'm the right kind of fat. When you say, I'm 200 pounds, but I don't look 200 pounds, what are you saying about people who do look 200 pounds? Look under this sound, you will not see any actual fat people. At the end of the day, we need to stop talking about weight and how much we weigh and the numbers, because it doesn't fucking matter and it doesn't do anything. This trend is just another example of body positivity being taken by straight and mid-sized people to convince themselves that they're not fat.
First of all, I'm curious by what she means by actual fat people. Where is the cutoff, ma'am? Second, I'm pretty sure the point of this trend was telling people that weight can be difficult to estimate when looking at someone, which makes it more arbitrary when it comes to looks. Which seems to be in line with your beliefs that weight is irrelevant, so what's the problem again?